Scotty Scheffler took a shot at Rory on Twitter.
What's their beef?
I think he's joking. He said, the green jacket looks good on you. Too bad it took you 11 years to try it on.
Gosh.
But they were talking, but I have it on the Golf Channel.
He goes, haha, jokes aside, congratulations, buddy.
What?
I have it on the Golf Channel, and I guess they were saying how there really is some tension between them. Like, not bad, but like, they are rivals. Like,
Is the
that's what they were saying. Because somebody asked him a Scheffler question, and I think,
he kind of blew it off.
no, he said something like, I don't know. And they were like, it didn't seem like it was outrageous, but it was like, it's a healthy rivalry.
People want two guys in the PGA. They had Phil Tiger. They want Rory and somebody.
The problem with golf, I was listening to somebody and I agree, is that they don't have anyone that is like,
They don't have a Tiger right now. We'll have time for more.
All right, mic check. It looks like audio is working a-okay. We are live on all platforms right now. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. We're gonna go live for the next 30 minutes. We're going late tonight on Kids 5 because of golf, correct, Phil? Because of Masters, yeah. So
1041.
10:41 is when we start tonight on CBS here on Kids 5. So we're gonna go into detail right here on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, just on not just Texas weather, but for national weather too. So again, if you're traveling, I know this upcoming weekend is Easter weekend. A lot of folks are going to be driving to Houston, Dallas, Austin, maybe flying out anywhere. That's where this is a time of year that a lot of folks do travel out, see some family, see some loved ones out there. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And right now, I would say Texas is just really clear. It's dry. Matter of fact, on satellite, you can see it perfectly. You can see as I zoom out, it is just dry. I mean, there's not a cloud in sight over San Antonio, Houston, Corpus Christi, the Valley. The closest cloud cover is Amarillo and towards the panhandle of Texas. And that's not even producing rain. Matter of fact, if you take a look, we'll actually go to national radar. And from coast to coast, anywhere, I mean, there's just not much action. However, things are going to change into like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which, by the way, if we go into kind of a detailed look at that, so this is just, so if we switch this up and go to just subsurface conditions, for example, now it's a little humid. You know, what's helping a lot is the breeze. I mean, in Texas, we have like south winds gusting upwards of 20 to 30 miles an hour. But as we move into like next week, and I'll make sure to put this in the field of view right over here. See, make sure you can see that. Let's see if I can just minimize that. And this is huge because when you talk about humidity, that's the fuel you need to get rain going, obviously, but more importantly for severe storms in April and May. I mean, this is the time of year when we get these squall lines that form out west and then move across Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. And then when you fast forward through time on this particular model, let's see if we can do that. There we go. Cool. Let's see if I can, this is going to be a forecast loop. And then we're good to go. There we go. So watch this. This is really cool. So you'll see the humidity just surging from the Gulf. And again, that's the setup we need. So that's the stage for severe storms. Probably not until the end of this week. I think as this low kind of deepens out west, that's when we'll see a little bit of a different pattern setup. And that'll be conducive for more rain, maybe more thunderstorms by later in the week. Because I would say by Friday and Saturday, cloud cover will build in. But by Sunday, that's when it'll get a little bit more active across North Texas. I do want to say if you're traveling to like Dallas or North Texas or Oklahoma, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's when it's going to get a little bit more active in that part of Texas. Let's see if I can show you that. We talked about this earlier. Let's see, the W Prediction Center, QPF. That's the quantitative precipitation forecast. So anybody can see this. This is on like a public website for NOAA and the National Weather Service. But if you see this right here, this is just kind of an outlook of the weather this upcoming week. And if you look closely, which I'll zoom out, I know you can't see much, you can zoom out. This is Texas pretty much, right? We're kind of in the bullseye, but it's really North Texas and Oklahoma that I'll cash in on probably the most rain between now and next Monday. So this is like a 7-day forecast and just rain. It's not accounting for temperatures. It's not accounting for humidity. This is just where we think the rainfall is really going to hit home. And I think it's anywhere from Abilene towards southwestern Missouri. So from, let's say, Kansas City all the way down to Dallas. There's going to be that corridor that see, upwards of 2 to 3 inches of rain, over the next 7 days. And again, just to reiterate, that's not all going to fall at one time. We're definitely not going to see that all at one time. And matter of fact, we're broadcasting from San Antonio, south central Texas, and you can see kind of where that dividing line is of where we see some rain. And we're not going to see much in our area, but if you're watching from Abilene, Lubbock, Oklahoma City, Norman, towards, again, northwestern Arkansas, Little Rock, you have a better opportunity and potential at cashing in on some rain later this weekend. And that's not good because obviously it's Easter weekend. We talked about this earlier. A lot of folks are going to be traveling, and that's going to be a big deal. Let me see if I can pull up something else. Hey there, Abigail. Good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Favorite and least favorite Texas cities. Oh, that's a good one. Well, I'm born and raised in San Antonio, so I have to say San Antonio. But I have a lot of family that live in Houston. They live in Spring, so about half an hour to an hour north of downtown Houston. I've been to Dallas a few times. Austin is great. I've been to El Paso once. I do want to explore West Texas more. There's like the Guadalupe Mountains. There's the Big Bend area. There's a lot of things to see in West Texas. I really do want to explore the western side of the Lone Star State a lot more. That's for sure. There's just so much to see. I love hiking. That's a huge thing that I love to do. But yeah, West Texas, there's a lot to see. The topography, the geography of West Texas is just a lot different. And it's a lot different than South Texas, that's for sure. So we had some folks asking about where's the rain. What's up, Eli? Good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful night. In terms of like rain out there right now, it's just not much. I mean, you can see as we put this into motion, it's like anywhere from North Dakota towards like the Great Lakes. That's where you can call it active, but this is a pretty weak storm system, which was cool. About an hour ago, we were talking about satellite, which I'll take off. So let me just zoom into this right here. I know we probably don't have a lot of folks watching from North Dakota or Minnesota, but see this rain right here, like, across the northeastern half of the country? it's spinning. You know, it almost looks like a mesocyclone, and it's a little low area low pressure. But what's really cool, if you just take off radar and then you put on satellite, for example, and we can't see this on visible, but if you take a look at maybe lower to mid-level water vapor, you might be able to see like a swirl in the atmosphere. It's really cool. Yeah, so see that? You know, that's cyclonic flow in the mid to lower levels of the atmosphere. That's what's causing rain near North Dakota right now. So, not that anybody's watching from North Dakota, but if you have any friends or family between Jamestown, St. Cloud, Minneapolis, they're going to see a little bit of rain this evening. So, it's something really cool. Oh, Phil, who's my favorite coworker? I would say Vinny Vanzetta. Vinny's not even here. He's not even here. Oh, but it's Phil's last day, everybody. You know, tune in to Kent's 5 tonight at 10:40. An awkward time to tune in, but it'll be his last show. And we're going to miss him so much. We're going to miss him. Kat just joined in. Mother Nature is on one. Oh, for sure, Kat. And she's going to continue to be on one because it's spring, it's April, humidity is surging in. And that's just going to be a huge, not so much this week, but I think in the following weeks, like late April, early May, things are really going to turn up just because of how it just shapes up this time of year. We haven't seen too many severe weather outbreaks, but I think by the end of this month and early May, things are going to get a little bit more active. From Frank, what is your least favorite type of weather? Oh, man. So I have a controversial, I love summer weather. I love heat. I don't like humidity, but I just love temperatures like in the 90s and 100s. I love going to the beach, the river, the pool. I love soaking in the sun. My least favorite type of weather? Oh, it's so hard. Probably the humidity aspect. So I would say, in probably August, you really start to feel, in June and July, you obviously feel the heat, but in August, you feel humidity at a different level. Especially here, Corpus Christi, Galveston, the air will be so heavy in August because humidity has just been pumping in week after week, and you don't get cold fronts in the summertime. So I would say summertime. In August, probably my least favorite type of weather, just the elevated humidity of late summer, early fall time. What's it like working in San Antonio market, and are you in the Kent Weather Center? I'm not, Abigail. I am actually at my desk streaming to all different platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube as well. I'm testing this out. So we've been testing this out for the last couple of weeks. I'll go live for about a couple of hours, just talking a little bit about national weather. Obviously things have been pretty quiet in Texas. We saw some rain, back in March, but ever since it's been dry. But, talking about weather elsewhere gets a lot of engagement, interactivity. A lot of folks watch me from not just here, but Corpus Christi. I have some friends and family on the East Coast, and then some family on the West Coast. So it's good to get engagement on different areas of the weather, and that's what we like to do. But working in San Antonio, it's great. I love it. And I think you're from El Paso, right, Abigail? I think you went to UIW as well. But, I'm born and raised in San Antonio, so being in the city that I was born in, now I'm forecasting in, I'm back home. Because, again, I started out in the Valley, moved up to Corpus Christi, and then now I'm living in San Antonio. It's great. I love this market. And it's great because you're in between weather sections, if you will, because you're close to the Gulf, so you're near hurricane season, because Corpus Christi and Galveston will get hit by tropical storms and hurricanes. But then you're close to North Texas, where they are more susceptible to tornadoes and hailstorms. And we're kind of in the middle of the action. San Antonio, Austin, the I-35 corridor is kind of a good middle ground for strong, severe storms and just different types of weather. Also for cold winter weather. We'll get those cold plunges that'll produce some ice, but not as much ice and snow for North Texas. But in San Antonio, we'll get kind of on the outer edge of that weather system. So I just like San Antonio because it's just right in the middle of all these different weather systems, and we're able to experience a lot of different weather here in San Antonio. Hey there, Morgan. Just want to say hi. Thanks for the follow. You are a UIW student studying sports broadcasting. Welcome, Morgan. Yeah, I graduated from UIW back in late 2017, but I loved every minute of it. Just I loved the classes, the teachers, the people, the environment, the class sizes. Everything about UIW is perfect and it's on point. So we do love UIW. Working in the hometown is a dream. I don't think I'll work in my hometown of El Paso, but it used to be the dream. Nothing beats home. And yeah, San Antonio's the best, Abigail. It's awesome. I mean, the food, the culture. We're heading into Fiesta season. When does Fiesta start, Phil? Like in a week or so? The 24th? Is it the one? Is it really? I believe so. Wow, okay, it's coming in. About 10 days out from now. Yeah, so, I mean, Niosa, Fiesta de los Reyes, Taste of Northside, Taste of New Orleans, Oyster Bake. I mean, this time of year for San Antonio, South Texas is just awesome. Frank, you're from the Valley, 956. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were underwater 2 weeks ago. What happened, Frank? Yeah, no, I lived in the Valley back in early 2018. That was my first job out of college, and it was awesome, man. The people down there, the food was great. I was near South Padre Island, so I would go so often. So I love the Valley. Deep South Texas is just a different level, though. I mean, it's hot here in San Antonio, but Deep South Texas, it goes up a notch, that's for sure. Vinny, I have Morgan on Instagram right now. He's saying you're the man. You taught him everything he knows.
Morgan from UIW?
UIW, yes, sir.
I love Morgan from UIW. Just saw him the other day.
Did you really? Did you go to UIW?
Yeah, they introduced their new women's basketball head coach.
Oh, nice, nice. Morgan Vinny says, hello, and you are the man as well. Absolutely. Go Cardinals. Go Cardinals. Mother Nature went ballistic and released over 15 inches of rain. Dude, Frank, oh my goodness. We're testing out this new exclusive show on Ken's 5 Plus. We're testing it out. And we're trying to cover like weather events across, not just Texas, but across the country. And me and Paul are just like going into detail on that. But we went over some of the video that came out of the Valley with all the flooding a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I mean, some localized areas were picking up like 20 inches of rain between like Hidalgo County, McAllen, Harlingen, Raymondville. I mean, it was incredible. The thing is about the Valley, it's either drought or just like insane rain. It's either my college professor said it's either feast or famine. You're either getting a lot of something or just nothing at all, because the Valley is just almost desert-like. You get like heat, highs in the hundreds all the time. But talk about incredible different type of weather. 15 inches of rain, Frank, that's, no one needs that kind of rain. I mean, I think San Antonio does. We are in drought. We are like an extreme to exceptional drought. But 15 inches of rain in like 3 days, that's flooding concerns, that's for sure. What's up, Jose? Good evening. Yeah, we're just talking weather, man. We're just trying to go into detail about what's happening this week. A lot of folks are traveling for the Easter weekend. Do you want to go into detail on that? Let's see. So this is just showing infrared. Right now, the setup is not really conducive to like heavy rain. Right now, there's a trough out west, and what that's doing is just cranking in a lot of cloud cover and rain in our direction. And there's not really much lift. So you need lift. That's one ingredient you need. We have clouds, we have moisture, we have humidity. That's 1 to 2 ingredients. But as we fast forward through next week, that's when we'll enter a different environment, and I think that's when we'll see an elevated, possibility at rain. I don't think San Antonio is going to get much. If you see this map right here, we talked about this earlier. I think North Texas, Oklahoma is going to see all the action with this weather. I mean, San Antonio kind of on the outer edge of this, Houston on the outer edge of this next rain system. This is just showing the forecast for the next 7 days, so it's valid until the 20th or the 21st. Yeah, the 21st it says on the map. So that's when they'll see rain. Like Dallas, probably like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is big if you're traveling for Easter weekend. So if you're seeing any family in Wichita Falls, Abilene, Lubbock, Oklahoma City, maybe anywhere west of Little Rock, that's where they'll see some more active weather later this week. Lake Travis needs 15 inches of rain in 3 days. Yeah, for real. You know, Frank, you just got 15 inches of rain in the valley. Send that to Austin. Send that to Canyon Lake. Send that to Medina Lake. Medina Lake, last time I checked, so Medina Lake's about 20 miles west of San Antonio. They're like 2, maybe 1% full. Yeah, they have not been doing well at all. Canyon Lake is also going down, but Lake Travis needs, I mean, all of our water sources definitely need a good replenishment. Our aquifer needs water. You know, back in March, we saw like maybe a few inches of rain that fell in good spots in the contributing zone. But the thing is, you get one round of rain and then it stops raining for like weeks, and we do need more. So again, that's water vapor. Let's see. Let's show you some of the models, and let me just show you national radar real quick. So superimposed on this is just radar, right? And those little icons are indicating some of the live cameras they have out there. What's cool about those live cameras, this is Radar Omega. Those live cameras will start to really populate because people will go storm chasing in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, all the way towards Kentucky in the Midwest. So all these icons will light up, and we'll see like double the amount of icons, and you can just, you know, click on each icon and see real-time video of people driving into storms, and even real-time live cameras showing conditions across Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. Which, speaking of, that's where the severe weather will be later this week. This is a severe weather outlook for, I believe this is the day 2 outlook. So this would be Tuesday into early Wednesday. So heads up for anyone, you know, traveling towards, let's say, the Midwest, right? Ohio, northeastern Kentucky, and West Virginia will be in the crosshairs for some strong to severe storms later this week. So that is the concern for severe weather. Let me just check Facebook real quick, and let's see. Facebook, and again, you know, if you want, comment down below, guys. I know this is my professional Facebook. This is not getting much action, not much love. But anyway, yeah, so that is the severe weather outlook for Tuesday. And it doesn't really get active in Texas until like, you know, Friday or Saturday. Let me show you why. So we were talking about springtime. A lot this time of year is driven, a lot of the weather is driven by humidity. And watch what happens as we kind of go through time. And I think this is what is going to be the, you know, focal point for even more rain, I would say, until like the end of April. Because we looked at the Climate Prediction Center, which I can bring up right now. It's calling for like above average rainfall as we wrap up April into early May. So this is showing temperature, but this is the precipitation outlook. So this is from NOAA. This is the National Weather Service. And most of the U.S. is underneath this category. But Texas, on the other hand, is kind of in a deeper layer of more rainfall, so that's good. And a big reason why is because of just the changing weather flow, right? The changing weather flow right here. I have to make this smaller. Right there, because we want to see Texas, right? Let's just... Let's see, give me a second. There we go. So notice like dew points by the end of this week. That's like, so this is for the 24th. So we need to go back in time. So right about here. So this is the 17th, 18th, you know, Easter, I believe, is the 20th. Yeah, the 20th. Notice how moisture just really surges in from the Gulf. This is just fuel in the tank. When you see dew points like upper 60s, 70s in springtime, just wait, rain's gonna start popping up some more. Whether it's in the morning as drizzle or in the afternoon as daytime thunderstorms, that's when it can really start to spark off. Yeah, so we're gonna keep an eye on the possibility that some of these storms are getting a little bit more strong and severe at the end of April. Between now and Friday, it's quiet. It's gonna be sunny, highs in the 70s, 80s and 90s, just depending on where you're at. But I think by the end of April, things are going to get a little bit more busy because of just the long range forecast. It's just calling for above average, rainfall, and I think heat's going to come down a little bit, even though June and July are around the corner. But overall, the pattern's just looking more conducive, more favorable for rain in the foreseeable future. What's up, Jessica? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've got to hang out soon, Jessica. Me, you, Tori, and Michael. Let's see. Kayla, good evening. You can't catch. Oh, the Valley can't catch a break. Yeah. You're either swimming or frying up. Right. I mean, the Valley is either one side or the other. You're either getting a lot of rain or a lot of heat. There's no middle ground for the Valley, right? For like McAllen, Rio Grande City, Harlingen. From Corpus Christi to Deep South Texas, it's just either heat or rain. It's a weird balance across South and Deep South Texas. So again, guys, it looks like, for Texas, Louisiana, I mean, they're just going to be surging in dew points, and what that's going to do is fuel for rain. I think even some stronger storms by the end of the month. But yeah, so between now and tomorrow, it's quiet. I mean, next 5 days is sunny and highs in the 90s, but for like southern Ohio towards Kentucky and West Virginia, if you have any friends or family, or if you're traveling in that direction later this week, that's where the weather will be probably a little bit more inclement, active. This is a level 2 out of 5 for severe weather for again, the Midwest towards the Southeast. And that's like for scattered, strong to severe storms Tuesday and early Wednesday. So from DJ, Texas having a storm. No, not anytime soon, DJ. It's going to be pretty quiet. But good evening, Kayla. I hope you're having a wonderful night. I hope you had a great weekend. Drown you is... We don't want to drown, bro. DJ, we don't want to drown. We want rain. And depending on where you're watching from, you might need rain. But yeah, I would say, so I'll turn this off because this looks weird. That's just a day 2 outlook for severe weather. But notice across the north, that's where they're seeing rain, but where that part of the map was highlighted, that's where they're expecting a severe weather outbreak by Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're going to watch that closely. So let's actually shift gears towards... So we're on national radar right now, but we'll take a look at a forecast model. Let's see what the GFS and the Euro are saying. So we're gonna have to let that load. So give it a second. And what this is gonna do, and I'll just show total precip, and this just kind of will reaffirm what we're talking about in Oklahoma City, North Texas, Arkansas, where they're gonna expect more rain for Easter weekend. Right there. There we go. So this is going through time, right? Let's see if I can stop this. So I'm going to zoom out, show you what we got. So the next 5 days, it's quiet, right? We're dry. We're seeing highs in the 90s. It's boring. I mean, it's just really just spring to summer-like weather through Friday. But this upcoming weekend, we'll see a system driving from the west. And what that will do, I think I can pause this real quick. What's going to happen is the system's going to dive kind of in this direction as a low, and as it sweeps through, kind of cause maybe a somewhat squall line to move across Texas. That could spark up a couple of isolated storms, but that low will move eastward, and that'll be the reason why we see more clouds by Friday and Saturday. And then maybe some in San Antonio, but I think the bulk of rainfall will happen in North Texas and towards Oklahoma. And again, a big reason why is just because how the dynamics come together. When the low, moves across the Rockies, it helps the mountains help spin it up, the cyclonic flow. And what will happen is it'll encounter so much humidity. And with all the dynamics in place in North Texas and Oklahoma, that's where I think the rain will be more widespread by, Easter Sunday, even early next week, the 22nd, 23rd. We could probably see another round of that happening. So, big takeaway. Texas, South Texas, some rain in the forecast this weekend and early next week. But big takeaway is like the Central Plains. They're going to see a lot more rain. The red color is probably indicating like, 3 to 5 inches of rain accumulating over about 10 days. And then for South Texas, a lot less than that. I mean, it's highlighting maybe the potential a couple of localized pockets of like maybe a half an inch to an inch of rain, but that's optimistic, right? We're not expecting much rain over the next 7 days, but hopefully early next week can offer up a slightly different pattern. But again, as we head into late April, as you saw on this particular outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. So this is the 7-day forecast and rainfall. But if you take a look at the Weather Prediction Center, so that is this, I need the CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, they'll actually show you the overall outlook for the next 10 to 14 days. So, right now we're in a dry and warm pattern, but we're heading into more of a active wet pattern as we close out April. So we're halfway through the month already. Time's flying by fast. But that's what the rain will look like, likely over the next 7 to 8 days. And this rainfall forecast this is the GFS model, the Global Forecasting System. More of a longer range outlook, but this is probably through about the 24th and 25th. So pretty much the middle and end of next week. Or Texas, yes, could see a couple of downpours materialize, but it looks like, the Central Plains is really where it's going to light up. And someone said no more rain for Tennessee. Yeah, oh my goodness. So anywhere from Little Rock to Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, over the last couple of weeks, just nonstop rounds of rain, and not just rain, but severe storms. I mean, they were getting rounds of just scattered tornadoes, flooding rains. It was a lot of action, and some of the preliminary forecast called for 15 to 16 inches of rain for Tennessee. So yeah, hopefully no more rain for them. Definitely not as much over these past couple weeks compared to the next upcoming week. But we will see more active rain and more active weather come through. But yeah, that's the overall rainfall forecast over the next 10 to 14 days. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see. All right, so that's just one. Let's just see what the other. Okay. This is the GFS. This is the American model. Has a huge bullseye of rainfall for Kansas, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, towards Wisconsin, maybe parts of the Dakotas. This is through next week. Because again, between now and Friday, again, guys, it's quiet, it's sunny, it's hot, highs in the 90s. But this weekend, a little active in North Texas. And then next week, I think the weather brings a more favorable environment for some rain. So this is just one opinion on what could happen. This is one forecast model. Let's look at the Euro and let that load. Yeah, hoping for rain. Yeah, we need rain so bad. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, but the lakes are Aquifer, Canyon Lake, Medina Lake is looking, it's been looking bad for a while. But every drought report on Thursday, whenever the new drought report comes out, it just doesn't improve. And it just is a testament on we need rain. We're in desperate need of rain. That is for sure. Okay, so let me pull up. It's loading right now. This is the European model, 12Z run. And it's super slow. I don't think it's going to pull up with anything. We'll just go back to radar. But on the GFS and probably the European model, very similar on rainfall accumulation over the next couple of weeks. Probably for South Texas, maybe a half an inch to 2 inches of rain. And then North Texas, probably 2 to 4 for Dallas towards Oklahoma City. And then Central Plains, probably going to get hit with most of the rain over the next 10 days or so. Let's see. Okay, so again, this is radar, guys. Obviously not much going on. We'll put this loop on. You're glad yeah, there is a chance. There's just a chance. It's not a great chance, but, at least we're talking about some rain because springtime typically brings, April showers brings many flowers, and that's typically the case. April is historically a very wet month, but March brought in some rain, and hopefully, we've only seen, I think San Antonio has only seen about 0.05 inches of rain so far this month, and we're halfway through April, so we're behind. We're behind schedule. We're behind average, and hopefully by next week things change a lot more. So hello from Omaha, from Heather. Omaha, Nebraska. Speaking of, we were talking about Nebraska earlier. So there's Lincoln. A little bit of rain, not too much action. Central Plains, though, for Nebraska, for Omaha, probably going to get hit with some pretty good rain through Easter weekend and especially next week. Not much action between now and Friday, but next week a little different. And man, the Central Plains and the Midwest have been getting all the action. Bring some of that rain to Texas. There's the Dakotas. There's the Midwest. There's Marquette. There's Green Bay. There's Bay City. There's Detroit. All the way down to Pittsburgh. A little weak system, a little weak impulse moving across the Midwest. Bringing in some rain right now. Nothing too heavy though. Again, no severe weather tonight. But we were talking about this earlier. So day 2, which is Tuesday into early Wednesday, this is where the severe weather will be later this week. Level 2 out of 5, that includes in Columbus, Cincinnati, parts of West Virginia. It's hard to see sometimes with this map. This is western Pennsylvania. So from Pittsburgh all the way down to Maysville and Richmond, just east of Louisville and north of Bristol. That's where they're going to see some severe weather on Tuesday into Wednesday. So just a big heads up for any friends, family, loved ones in that area. That's where the weather will be a little active later this week. Aside from that, Texas dry and quiet for the next 5 days. And we were talking about on this forecast model, the euro is having a hard time popping up. And let me just turn off this day 2 outlook real quick. We were talking about how the plains will probably see the bulk of activity over the next 10 days. But, yeah, good. Yeah, Heather, we all need the rain. But, Nebraska, I haven't seen the drought report for Nebraska, but Texas, where we are, man, we need rain too. Yeah, so this is the next 10 days. It's going to keep looping, so it's going to keep on going. So hopefully, as we wrap up this month, a lot more rain, not just for Texas, but for Oklahoma, Arkansas, because we need to catch up. Because remember, June and July, aside from like a tropical storm or a hurricane, you just get long stretches of just dry heat, and it doesn't really. June and July do produce some rain. Based on average, but as you know, if you're from Texas, if you're from San Antonio, Houston, Austin, Dallas, you get a lot of periods of just nonstop heat and no rain. Sometimes the heat will actually touch off daytime storms, but we just need to catch up on rain now before we have to endure summer and the heat. But yeah, so this is the long range forecast for rainfall. As you can see, Nebraska, so Lincoln, right? Omaha towards Missouri, Springfield, Little Rock, Oklahoma City. These are the next 10 days. So I think April is going to end off really on a good note with more rainfall, which we do need. We do need. Hopefully some of that comes towards San Antonio. All right, guys. Well, we're going on live on Kent's 5 in about 20 minutes. So I have to go get ready. But because we're going on late tonight because of the Masters. But if you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment down below. So that's just one model. We'll wrap things up on satellite and just show you what's happening. If you're back to work tomorrow, back to school, back to your regular routine, just expect more spring, summer-like weather. Highs in the 90s, sunny skies. By Tuesday and Wednesday, probably some morning drizzle, morning fog, just because of so much humidity surging in from the Gulf. And it's not until Saturday and Sunday, Easter Sunday, we have a chance at some rain. But if you're watching from Dallas, North Texas, Oklahoma, you have a better opportunity at cashing in on rain later this week. And we talked about that on that forecast model earlier. This is just one kind of, X-ray of the atmosphere, and I'll make sure to, bring this down right here for Instagram. Again, there's just a low right over here, and what this is doing is just cranking in a lot of moisture that's not really resulting in anything, unfortunately. It's bringing in some cloud cover for the panhandle, but in terms of rain, measurable rainstorms, thunderstorm activity, severe weather, it's just not looking great. We just have the moisture, we just don't have the lift, And this low that's out near the Four Corners, near Las Vegas, it's driving in dry air for California, but on that eastern side, you get a lot of moisture moving in from the Pacific, and that can mean rain and thunderstorms. But again, you need like 4 ingredients to come in play. You need shear, you need moisture, you need lift, and then you need instability. You need 4 of those to get rain, and more importantly, strong thunderstorms. And right now we just have moisture, we have a little bit of instability, but we don't have the other 2. We need lift. That's a huge ingredient in storms and severe weather and rain. And we just have a lot of warm air, we have a lot of instability, but we just don't have a lot of the energy we need to get rain going. And we do want that. All right, so I'm gonna wrap things up, guys. That is it for right now. We're gonna be on Kens 5 in about 20 minutes. We're going on super late tonight because of the Masters, because of golf. It just pushed back CBS programming so much. So we're going on super late tonight. But we'll be on live on Kens 5 News at 10. It's Kens 5 News at 10, but it's 10:40 tonight. So tune in then. If not, no worries. If you have any more questions, feel free to shoot me a message on all platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. We were talking with Heather on TikTok earlier. Heather, thank you so much for your awesome comments. And be safe out there in Omaha. Again, guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below, or just again message me on social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We'll do another live tomorrow, probably. Usually I go live for national weather around noon, but that may change. So again, it's tentative. All right, guys, be safe and have a wonderful night, and hope you had a great weekend. Be safe and enjoy your week ahead.